Alright, let's talk about some of the basics of animating. Alright, I've created a ball and a ground layer. And here we have our timeline. We're just going to cover some things in the timeline. Alright, so every 24 frames is a second, because as we covered in the beginning, under Project Settings, we've got frame rate 24. That means there's 24 frames in a second. We could have changed that at any point, but it's the standard right now, so that's the way I'll talk to you through all of these tutorials. But 24 frames, 1 second. Let's say I want this ball to hit the ground 1 second into the animation. I want it to start from, let's say, the top of the screen. Let's change the ball's origin point. We'll put it right in the center. And we will move the whole layer. Oops. Sorry, let's go back to frame 0. Move the whole layer up here. We want it in the corner when the thing starts, and 1 second into it, we want it to hit right here. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set a keyframe on frame 1, just because that's the way I like to do it. If we don't set a keyframe, it's going to interpolate. It's going to figure out all of the points in between frame 0 and frame 24. So let's set a keyframe at frame 1. And you don't always need to do this, but it's just a good practice. Alright, first of all, let me show you this. Under Edit Preferences, see this box that says Consolidate Timeline Channels? I'll zoom in here. Alright, it says Consolidate Timeline Channels. If that's checked, then every object in your scene, everything, it's just all going to get smushed together and you don't know what's going on. So always uncheck that. I don't know why anybody would want that on unless it's like a final editing project or something. But make sure it's unchecked. Click OK. Alright, so we set a keyframe anytime we click a layer. We have a layer selected. We click on a tool or a point or something, and then we click in the scene. And if we've set a keyframe, you're going to see it down here. Okay, so right now we have the Translate Layer tool. That is animatable. I mean, we can set keyframes with that. So we have the ball is clicked. We're on frame 1, and this is all you do to set a keyframe on frame 1. You select frame 1. Click in the scene. See how that just showed up? Alright, now we're going to go to 24 seconds into it. Remember, we said we wanted the ball to hit somewhere in the middle of the screen then. So we bring the ball down, and that blue line is just showing us that that was the starting point, this is the next point. We have translated the layer. That's what the blue line is for. If we had translated all the points at one time, we wouldn't see that same blue line. Alright, so let's say the next part of our animation, we're going to, just to show you a different tool, we'll use this Translate Points tool. Alright, so in the first second, the ball came flying down, now it's going to fly up. Alright, so if we scroll back, this is called scrubbing, scrolling through the time frame. You can either scroll your mouse wheel if you're down here, or you can just click it and drag it. But you'll see, this is where we started. 1 second in, the ball hits. We got that blue line showing that we translated a layer. Alright, now the other way to move this simple object, this doesn't work so well with complicated objects, we can use the Translate Points tool. We've got all of the points highlighted. I've just clicked in here, set a keyframe. Alright, now let's say that 1 more second, another 24 frames, we're on frame 48, we want that ball up here. We just grab it, and we move it. Alright, now the problem is we left our origin point here, but not a big deal for this. It's real simple. So now our whole frame, our whole scene, we have the ball coming down. It's going to leave that origin. It's going to fly off. Alright, let's say we wanted to get that look like the ball got squished when it hit. How would we do that? Alright, I was trying to show you something, and I made this whole thing, and I tried mixing and matching different techniques to show you what could be done. and I kind of screwed it all up. So I want to start from scratch. Now, I can either delete all of these keyframes I've set by clicking in a scene, dragging, highlighting, and deleting, or if I've created keyframes for multiple things like the ground and the ball, which I haven't, but it doesn't matter, I could come up to animation, clear animation from document. That would clear all of it. Since I've only set them for the ball, I've got the ball layer selected, clear animation from layer. Alright, back at the beginning. Alright, so here's my scene. Let's keep it simple this time. I want the ball to come down 1 second into it, hit this point, and then fly up. So on my first frame, what I'm going to do is click the ball layer, click the translate layer tool, click in the frame to set a keyframe, in the scene to set a keyframe. Click on frame 24, move the ball down to frame 24, and then on 1 second later to fly off screen. So I'll move it up to frame 48. Alright, so if we scroll back through it, boom, boom, comes down, flies up. Alright, but what I really want, I want that ball to get squished when it hits the ground. So right about here. So what I would do is click the Translate Points tool. Now I could have moved this whole ball with the Translate Points tool, but that's what screwed me up. So what I'm going to do is just make sure I click this top point only. And what I've done is I've set a keyframe. Actually, we want to, let's go back one. Select all of them and set keyframes for all of the points because we want to keep that round shape until it hits. Now we can squish this down. Oops. Let's Control Z. Grab. Oh, that's where it takes some finesse. Okay, grab just that point. Squish it down. Grab this point. Squish it up. Alright, and then as it flies off, we want it to regain its shape again. So what we can do to kind of cheat is we can go back to the original shape, which was right here. We can grab those points, and all you got to do is click and drag, copy, and come over to about here and paste. So when the ball comes down, hits the ground, gets squished, flies up. Actually, it looks pretty normal. Alright, so again, animation. Let's clear animation from document. Yes, alright. Now if we want to do the whole thing, there's another way to do it. Because this is a simple shape and it's easy to grab everything, I can just use the Translate Points tool. And I can click, grab all those points, go to frame 1, click in the scene, doesn't matter where I click as long as I'm not moving the ball, set a keyframe, come down to 24 seconds into it, now we click, grab all those points, boom, 24 seconds, we got it, slamming into the ground. And then at 48 seconds, we got it right here. Alright, so it will automatically put all the points in between. You can see this looks real normal, just like it is, but if we wanted to get that smushed look, what we can do is, let's see, where does it hit? This is right before it hits. Here's the round shape. Now remember, if we smush it down right here, the problem is let's say we backtrack, it's going to start off with a round shape. So it's going to smush that whole way, which is not right. So let's delete these, and I'll show you what I was getting at. Alright, let's click the whole thing. Set keyframes for all of those points that are highlighted. If a point is highlighted, the keyframe is set. Alright, Now that's the round shape. And we're going to come back to that. But right here, it hits. So let's click this point, get smooshed up. Top's going to begin to come down. And right here, we'll have it really smooshed. Boing. Okay. And then as it takes off, we want it to come back to normal. So in order to get back to that round shape much sooner, because remember we set keyframes for all these points on frame 48. So right here it will be round. We can either grab these two or we can grab these two. We grab them, copy, come back to there and paste. No, not what we wanted to do. Sorry, Control Z. You know what? In fact, it's not going to work there either because we moved them over time. So, alright, so right about here, what we do is we just click, bring it back out to the original shape. And we're in business. Boom. We have a bouncing ball. Okay?